In 1626, the Dutch bought the island of Manhattan from a local tribe for a handful of beads. At least, that's how the legend goes. History celebrates the Dutch for making the deal of the century, while the Native Americans come off looking a little bit crazy. It's hard to imagine that anyone could find beads so valuable, but maybe they were completely rational. See, the deal might make sense if that tribe thought the beads were incredibly rare. Now, if you're having trouble sympathizing, remember, the Europeans had their own version of those beads, and to this day, people all over the world do much crazier things to get hold of them. I'm talking about diamonds.
Did you say diamond?
They're made of compressed carbon, formed in the Earth's crust, and they symbolize romance and wealth.
It isn't that I give a hoot about jewelry except diamonds, of course.
You might also know them from engagement rings, royal headgear, and the hip-hop dental industry. Diamonds have survived cartels, conflicts, and cheesy proposals, but technology is about to change the industry forever. And to understand why, you have to start at the beginning. See, back in the day, diamonds were really, really rare, because they only came from a few mines in India. But in the 1700s, they were discovered in Brazil, and 100 years later, in South Africa. The South Africans were pulling rocks out of the ground so quickly that the amount of diamonds in the world doubled in just a few decades. But then all of a sudden, they weren't so special anymore, and their price crashed. Enter Cecil Rhodes, a notorious scumbag who figured out that if he bought all of the mines, he could control prices. And so the De Beers Company was born. Now, you probably heard of them because at one point, De Beers controlled 90% of the global diamond supply. And to do that, they had to spend the next 100 years racing across the world whenever diamonds were discovered, so they could buy up the mines or get exclusive contracts. But as you probably noticed, the plan had a flaw. Every diamond that you dig out of the ground makes all of the existing ones less rare and less valuable. But not if you can increase demand. And for that, you need an ad campaign. And that's how diamond engagement rings were born.
Mr. Esmond.
Is it the right size?
Oh, they can never be too big.
They also invented the so-called slogan of the century.
Diamonds are forever.
But their real genius was in making diamonds a symbol. See, an engagement ring represents all sorts of things like love, commitment, wealth, and even sex. And if you were forced to put a price on them, I'm guessing it's going to be a lot more than what you'd normally pay for a shiny rock. That's why jewelers can guilt trip people into blowing their savings on a ring when they'd be lucky to resell it for a third of its original cost. Ironically, the De Beers monopoly collapsed just as the rest of the world bought into the scam. Basically, after the Soviet Union fell, the Russians and then the Canadians and Australians started undercutting De Beers. All of a sudden, De Beers just couldn't keep up. Which takes us to the present. Now, we've got tons of diamonds, but experts think that we're about to hit peak production, so unless new mines are discovered, no more new diamonds. What a tragedy. But thankfully, Silicon Valley has come to the rescue. Californian labs can now grow gem-quality stones using technology originally developed by the military. And listen to this, in terms of sheer volume,
China
recently became the largest producer of diamonds in the world. And they don't even have any mines. These diamonds are exactly the same as mined ones, and with improving technology, they're just going to get cheaper and cheaper. Synthetics are already being passed off as natural by crooked dealers, because even the experts can't tell the difference. You can buy synthetics with official, natural certifications on the Chinese version of eBay. Every diamond for sale right now has the potential to be a synthetic, because fraud could be occurring on a massive scale, and no one would even know about it. Traditional diamond dealers are shitting themselves. Here's a recent article by the guy who runs the diamond industry's pricing standards. Now, he's especially pissed off at Leonardo DiCaprio for investing in the biggest Silicon Valley diamond lab. Apparently, it's Leo's fault that we can now avoid tearing up the earth and funding criminals, conflicts, and dictators to find diamonds.
Now in America it's bling bling, but out here it's bling bang, huh?
But the real reason the industry is so defensive is that the diamond scam is in very real danger. Even natural diamonds haven't been rare for a long time. De Beers understood this, which is why they manipulated supply and demand. But no one can control supply when diamonds are being manufactured all over the world like smartphones. And unlike a phone, diamonds don't break. Remember,
diamonds are forever.
They'll just keep piling up and up until they're not worth a fucking thing. We are just like those Native Americans who got scammed by the Dutch. For hundreds of years, we've been buying diamonds for ridiculous prices, thinking that they're going to be valuable forever.
Fear that they might deserve.
They say a diamond is forever. We say a diamond is for everyone.
I like that.
Yes.
We don't. A diamond is for everyone sends the message that diamonds are everywhere, which means they're not rare. And if they're not rare, they lose their status.
The question is, can diamonds still be a symbol of eternal love and luxury when people realize that they aren't valuable and they aren't rare? Look, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but in the meantime, should anyone be buying them?